You're watching the 420 Pace Network, found at 420radio.ca and paceradio.net.
You're watching the Three High Guys with Al, MJ, and the other Al on the 420 Pace.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Still jamming.
Hi,
Good morning.
welcome to the first episode of what we're calling the second season, even though there really wasn't a first season. And I'm Al Rapp, and I am the founder of 420radio.ca and the host of the 420 Radio Show, which I do with Miss Mary Jane.
That's me. My name is Mary Jane Baker. I'm also one half of a podcast called The Newbie and the Doobie. I'm the Doobie. Thus, I'm going to spark up and pass it on up to Al.
All right. Hey, I'm Al. I'm the other Al. Yeah, Al Graham, paceradio.net is where you'll find me and all the broadcasting that we do there. And, I'm the founder of it, and always appreciate all the work that our hosts do for the network.
Yeah, we're going to spend this show getting to know you. For some of you, you know us. Some of you, you don't. Some of us, you won't get to know us because you'll leave.
And in which case, peace.
Good. But, as far as, to get to know us a little bit more, Al, we're all patients, right?
We are. Yes, we all are. I have some mental health issues that I use cannabis for, as well as those little tiny golden looking things that sprout out of your grass and look at you.
I didn't think they had eyes.
Have you got shrooms growing out in the field yet, Al?
No, I think they came and went.
Yeah, they were here when I got here. My lawn was full of them, but now I cut my lawn. So
I thought you were going to say I ate them all.
no, you know what? I've looked at a lot of books and stuff like that, but I don't know how to identify them, and I'm scared, quite frankly.
Isn't that funny? Because back in the day, I used to just go to the guy in grade 12 and be like, "Psst, hey, can you get me some mushrooms?" I was never worried then.
Yeah, I know. But there's a lot of there are a lot of strains out there in the woods that will kill you.
Well,
yeah, you should know what you're eating, right?
I'm like,
Yeah.
let's just not even talk about poisonous mushrooms. Let's just
Right,
talk about
exactly.
like
Well, no, hold
psychedelic
on a second.
mushrooms.
Hold on.
Because if you want to talk about something like penis envy, that won't kill you, but
Yeah,
it
but
you're
sure will
talking
fuck
mushrooms,
me
right?
up.
You're
It'll
talking
fuck
Psilocybin
mushrooms.
is
Okay.
a poison, though. You have to remember that, Mary Jane. Psilocybin as a whole, magic mushrooms, is a poison. You're introducing a poison into your body.
Well, see,
After you ingest that poison, it's a miracle at what happens. I mean, for me, I don't take any depressants anymore. I only take stuff for my diabetes and my cholesterol and stuff like that, and so that I can still pee in the morning.
Right.
Which I will probably try and cut back once I have my own oil supply. When you don't have your own oil supply, you can't start and then stop. You have to,
Mhm.
All
have
right.
enough to do the treatment.
Shall we continue with the intro?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mary Jane?
Oh, me next? Okay.
Yeah.
I am also a cannabis patient. Let's see, I've been using it for, I don't want to tell you how many years because then you'll know how old I am. But I'll just say most of my life. And yes, I look good for my age, just so you know. And
She's a fucking sunshine girl. Give me a break.
well, it's early. It's still early. I will say that I do also dabble, like Al, with magic mushrooms.
I
So I say
wasn't
psilocybin.
gonna ask you that because I wasn't sure.
Well, I do. So I suffer. I'm not shy about this because I learned through talking about this that there are more women that have this that don't actually know that they have this because they just chalk it up to premenstrual syndrome. But there's this something called premenstrual dysphoria disorder, PMDD for short.
Mhm.
And um, it's almost unbearable to manage because it's kind of like depression and psychosis combined, but for like 3-4 days. So
Oh.
you can't treat it with traditional antidepressants or antipsychosis medication because that's like I'll say, you got to stay on a regimen. It's like every day you got to take this thing. And I only need it 4 days a month. So that's where
Mm.
psilocybin really comes in and helps me. Um, it's the only thing that I've been brave enough to dabble in. Like I've heard that ketamine might actually be beneficial.
Yeah,
So I'm currently trying to
don't,
get a physician to actually walk me through the process of um, because obviously if it's not what I need, I don't want to take it. And I know psilocybin works, but we're talking in like 0.01 doses.
Yeah, well, I only do
Oh.
1.5 to 2, so point
Yeah,
one.
see, that's
Yeah.
not a microdose. Anything lower than a 0.2 is a microdose. And I take a
Yes,
microdose.
yes, yeah. But people are starting to microdose with cannabis greens and stuff as well. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Microgreens as well.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, they say juicing cannabis has like
Oh
some
God, no,
extreme awesome
no,
benefits.
thank you. That's
oh, it's
something that you
taste.
have to like to do.
Oh, it's
No,
disgusting. But I
yeah.
mean, if you can take a shot of wheatgrass, you can take a shot of cannabis juice. Just
Kelly
saying.
keeps telling me to take a shot of castor liver oil, and I'm like, yeah, no,
I do that oil of oregano. That shit
no, that would
burns.
give me instant heartburn. Yeah.
Yeah, but it works.
So Al,
I don't have any sinus problems.
As far as myself, I have Crohn's disease. I've had it for over 20 years now. Uh, been using cannabis all the way along, and because of my cannabis use, I have only had prescriptions for opiate drugs while I was hospitalized. I am surgery free. Mind you, I have been taking biological drugs in order to help with my Crohn's disease. I did have a period there of a couple of years where I didn't take them and I was just relying on the cannabis, but unfortunately ended up getting hospitalized. So one thing leads to another. And I'm also a cancer survivor as well. It's something I don't usually talk about too often. It's just, it came and it went. I used cannabis oil on it up until my surgery date. I was trying to, if it got to a point where the spot was reduced significantly or anything visually like that, I would have, talked to my surgeon and seen if we could delay things. While I saw changes in the appearance, I did not see anything get smaller. But the good news is that it did not get into my lymph nodes.
That's
So there's
great.
a good possibility that maybe the cannabis oil slowed it down.
Hmm.
And, so because it never got into my lymph nodes, I'm presently a 9-year survivor of melanoma. So
That's awesome. I'm glad you're still here.
yeah, same here.
And I feel like this would be a good time to mention this because I'm very proud that you're able to sit there and say, like cannabis has been able to take me away from a lot of pharmaceuticals.
Mhm.
And I just want to say to those people, because I know I've dealt with a lot of patients in the past, and some of them feel really, really down when they have to take any sort of pharmaceutical. Like when you said, I went into the hospital and I had to take it. I just wanted to tell those people, like, if you need pharmaceuticals and you're a strong, like cannabis
yeah,
is my everything, there's no shame in needing any sort of
No, exactly.
it's because cannabis is a medicine, just like Tums will help you with heartburn. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Cannabis won't help
yeah.
you with heartburn, so take
No.
the Tums.
Yeah. Yeah. The it's I have no problem saying that I'm
Mhm.
also having to take prescription drugs, but I can
Yeah.
tell you that the cannabis has significantly reduced the
Yep.
costs when it comes to because we were on the government funded on the prescription end of things because my costs are too much. But I've been able to save the healthcare system because I've been willing to grow my own cannabis.
You can't, one of the things that most people don't know is if you are a legal medical cannabis patient in Canada, you can claim that on your taxes as you would your prescriptions from the pharmacy. But only from a
if it's
legal
prescribed.
pharmacy.
Correct.
That's right. Yeah.
It has to be from a legal market, and you can get a percentage of your tax back.
That's right. Well, just like you do if you pay for your pills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I will say, don't try and submit a reservation cannabis business because they won't accept it.
I'm curious. They probably wouldn't even take a recreational store receipt. This is what I'm curious because it has to be from your medical provider.
If you are licensed, then yes, it has to be a legal entity. So that's the only place that you can purchase cannabis legally.
Not medically
unless you're going through the medical system.
That's where that's the one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're a medical patient and you go to the recreational store and buy drinks or edibles and stuff, that does not count towards your tax reduction. You have to order it through your medical provider.
Where it's prescribed. Yeah. So what can people expect today? We've done our intros. What can people expect today on the broadcast?
Oh.
Well, I got my first high five list.
Okay, so you got a high five list.
High five.
Yeah, and Mary Jane, what's coming out of you today? We're going to be discussing.
Oh, I've got some tips for you for life and to make you feel just a little better, more rested in the morning, and upcoming events. Yes, I'm super excited. Some really good ones.
And I'm going to be covering some sports news, cannabis sports news.
Sports shorts.
Yeah. Exactly. And later on,
all in the 70s, Daisy Dukes.
Okay. And later on, we're also going to, I got some recipes as well.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's something I think is probably great for the summer within that recipe.
Yeah. And I can do a little movie review. I kind of sort of saw Deadpool versus Wolverine the other day.
Me too.
So good. We can bounce on that. And,
alrighty.
And other than that, we're just going to,
If anybody wants to add a comment, whatever, get involved in the conversation out there in social media land, by all means, get involved in the conversation.
And
we'll also be answering questions.
Yeah. If you have questions, that's what I like doing this mostly is that when people ask us questions, one of us will know the answer. And if we don't, somebody will find it.
Yeah, exactly. Google's not that far away, right?
No.
So, alrighty.
Should we do our first little commercial?
Do our first commercial, and we'll come back with the health end of the broadcast.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Right back. The health end. Do we have a thing for the health end? No, we don't have one yet.
Well, it's into the entertainment one.
I will make an intro for next week for the segment.
All right. Well, I'll just play the entertainment one then.
I was excited for the entertainment. I'm sorry.
Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning. All right.
Sorry.
Bam. And we're back. We're back with the morning. It's funny, it said entertainment and events, but instead we're going to do the morning health and wellness segment. I'd like to start it this morning. I thought it was very fitting to do a phrase or a statement, motivational quote, if you will. Fitting that it's our first show. So the phrase is, you don't have to be perfect when you start, but you need to start if you ever expect to be perfect. So we don't expect this show to go perfectly, but we started it. So that is the quote for the day. If there's something that you've been thinking about doing and things are just not perfect, you don't have all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, just go and do it. Just start, and believe me, everything will fall into place. And if it doesn't, you'll deal with it then. If you don't do anything, you don't go anywhere. Okay.
Well,
I do.
you can travel on Google Maps very easily. So that's not completely
Yes. Well, the theory is if you have a boat in the ocean and it's going straight, you're going to end up here. But if you deviate, even ever so slightly, that small change is going to end up drifting you so far away from where you were intending on going that if this is where you want to go, just make that small shift. And even a small shift will be huge in the end, is what I'm
Be
saying.
significant in the end.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my health tip for the day actually was something I researched for myself, because you guys said, let's do a morning podcast. And I was like, okay, I'm not coming and doing it before 10 a.m. because there's no way I'm going to be up and ready before that, because I stay up way too late. I'm always tired. Even when I get like 10 hours sleep, I wake up tired. I take naps all the time. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with me. And then I figured it out. I'm not following the 10, 3, 2, 1, 0 rule. And I know it's a big rule, but there's a reason why they call it the 10, 3, 2, 1, 0 rule, is because 10 hours before bed, no more caffeine. 3
Good.
hours before bed, no more eating or drinking.
Ooh.
2 hours before bed, no more work. And this is the one that I guarantee you we all don't listen to. And I'm struggling with this because 1 hour before bed, no more technology, no more screen time.
No.
And the zero is the number of times you hit the snooze on the alarm in the morning.
Hey, what happened?
Yeah.
I need
If
to
you
get up
follow
working.
those, apparently you're not supposed to feel tired. It's supposed to help you get rest.
Oh.
So
The only thing I've done out of that list is I've tried to stop taking my cell phone to bed with me. I leave it in the living room, but I'm usually up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and of course, the first thing I do is go get my phone.
do you have a TV in your room?
No,
Yeah. See, I watch
the only thing I
television
have in
up
my
until
room,
bed, drinking
the
a
only thing I have
Electronics.
in my room is
TV's
Mr.
electronic.
Google. I have my Google speaker, and
Yeah.
I almost the literally, you've heard me say this before, Mary Jane. The last thing you will hear me say on any given night before I go to bed is, "Hey Google, play white noise," and then I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't hear a thing. When I have guests here, I don't hear them peeing and pooping because I'm right beside the bathroom. And the dog doesn't hear other dogs barking at night or anything rustling outside, because if she hears a bear, she's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
You have a dog, Al.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Of course, like, I know all of the things where it's like, remove the technology from the bedroom, like,
But isn't TV technology?
absolutely. You shouldn't have a TV in your bedroom.
Yeah,
They
'cause you can
say
watch
if you need like
yeah.
lights from your alarm clocks and stuff, you should, like, I sleep with a sleep mask over
No.
eyes, and I play rain sounds too because I can't, because I literally, like I said, up
I-
until bedtime, I'm watching TV, drinking my tea, playing Angry Birds. No wonder why I don't sleep or well.
I have a trouble with my ADHD. I have trouble shutting things off, and so the from the white noise
It's great.
kind of stops it. But sometimes I have to literally tell myself to shut the fuck up. I don't have a TV in my room because it's in my guest room.
Yeah.
But it's I can't have just nothing because I'll start listening for birds or rustling outside or,
Mhm.
you know,
Hearing noises.
Yeah. I
Mysterious
know
noises.
from
scary noises. They're
researching
not so mysterious. I know
You
what
can
they
hear the
are.
birds now, can't you?
Yes.
I know from researching, is it tinnitus or tinnitus,
Tinnitus.
whatever that
Yeah,
ringing is in your ears?
correct.
Tinnitus, yeah.
Yeah.
Because my
It's
friend
annoying.
during COVID, when she got sick, that's what she had that for like a month and a half, a ringing in
Oh
her
yeah.
ears. And that's what they say to do is to listen to a white noise. Do not sit in a quiet room because the white noise will actually help drown out
It does.
the
Yeah, but it helps
stimulation.
drown it out, but you can still hear it.
Yeah.
I also,
Yeah, I've gone to a hearing specialist too.
in the
Uh,
living room, I
for
can
that too.
hear, I usually have the fan on in the living room. And I don't have AC. So what I do is I turn the fans on in the bathroom and the kitchen, and it takes all the hot air out. Right. So that muffles. I've always used fans as a shut off from my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. And before we deviate from health and wellness, just want
Yeah.
to say it is National 80s Month with the holiday coming up on the 8th because it's 0808. Thus the 80s workout gear. So if you're going to look for a workout today, go and look up an 80s workout. Go look for aerobics. I guarantee you're going to have fun. It's going to be a laugh and the music's awesome. So
God. There we go. All righty. Al, you're
You
up.
look, you look very, very Olympic-y.
Olympic-y.
I need my list. I have my first 5 Hive list, and I'm going to just get it here. And what we're going to be talking about, I will tell you after I play this.
It's certainly high on the list.
Oh, it was so nice. I wanted to play it twice because I'm certainly high on this list. Being in Northern Ontario, I'm finding it rather hard for, I'm way, where am I here, Al? Can you help me?
Yeah,
high.
I am on the,
you're above that top line. Where it says
You're above the
Montreal.
red line.
Yeah, you're above the. You're above that red line.
up there. I'm up here. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So it's been hard. It's been a struggle. Last year I didn't do too well because I had a little mail issues. Those fucking guys just walked in and just took over. And then this year I had a hard time getting seeds started because of where we are. I am at the very northern tip of Lake Superior now, not in Toronto. And you can call me officially Northern Ontario Al. Why? Because I'm more northerner than you.
NOA.
NOA. Coming to a network near you. So
I don't know why that's so funny.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. Thank you for that. I'm not going to get into what's written here, but what I'm going to get into is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strains here that they suggest that work up here in Canada, and we'll talk a little bit about why. And the reason is getting to know the area. We have a very short grow season, to the point where I had to invest in a greenhouse so that I can go in. I can literally go into December now.
What was the temperature this morning?
8 degrees.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And
ridiculous. Send that this way.
August 6th, and it was 8 degrees, and it's only going up to 20 today. It's right now it's 18 in the house.
20 is good for outdoor growing,
outside,
but
17 downstairs, and 17 in the grow room, or in the what do you call it, the greenhouse. So some of the suggestions that I have here, and this is from one of my favorite magazines, Treating Yourself, which Al has written in many, many, many times.
I have an article in that magazine,
and has the honor of kind of continuing on, with things. So some of the strains that they suggest, above the 50th parallel where I am, which is a September 20th to 25th, is bonkers. I've never heard of that strain. And
Oh yeah.
now I can see. I have a glow about me. I'm not sure if this is it doesn't say if it's a sativa or a dominant. No, it doesn't say.
Doesn't tell
But
you.
anyways, I've tried bonkers before. Do you know anything about it, Al?
I have heard of it. I have smoked it, but I've never grown it. So that's about it.
It's
I can't recall lots about it.
it's an early
Who's it
it's an
by?
early riser, you could say, right? Then you've got things like grapefruit haze, which is in October, up here, down in the 40th parallel where you guys are. When do you crop out, Al? Like end of September?
Usually Thanksgiving.
Really, you go that far?
Yeah, anytime around there.
Avalon is another one which I haven't heard of before.
No,
That will do good up here. It's got a middle of September harvest. And Grape God I've tried. That's October. These all go really late in, eh? October, September.
well, yeah. Like, could you even grow to that time of the year there?
Yeah, because of my greenhouse.
If you
Not-
experience,
Not out, just leaving it out now. Like even now, it might be a little too cold for the guys that are just outside.
yeah,
Right. But it just so people know that the 50th parallel is Vancouver, Winnipeg, Newfoundland,
Mhm.
London, Berlin,
Hmm.
and and then you go down to the 40th parallel, which is most of Northern Ontario, or sorry, North America. I can hardly even read these things. I need glasses. Istanbul, Tokyo, and Northern Afghanistan.
Northern Afghanistan sounds like a good height, as a good spot to grow. Lots.
I
of
was
good
just going to
people
say
go to
northern
Afghanistan.
yeah. Afghanistan would be a good place to grow, I would think. And then another one, which is actually one I really enjoy, is Time Warp. They suggest.
Oh, yeah.
These and Island Sweet Skunk.
Tuxedo Time Warp.
Is that the original name?
Yeah, I believe that was the original name, or it was somebody grew Time Warp there and called it that. One or the other.
This says this is one of British Columbia's most popular outdoor strains.
Correct. BC.
It's famous because of the easy clone abilities, mold resistance, early flowering, great yields, and last but not least, a great taste, effect, and smell. Everything a serious outdoor cannabis farmer needs to know. Now, Al, you're the experienced grower here between the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Jane has grown as well, but not like Al does. I mean, I've been in Al's grow room. Okay. I'm doing some of the same things. You've had a tent, correct, Mary Jane?
Yeah, I've had a couple. I literally used to tell people I could do a whole segment or series on how to almost kill your plants, but not really. Just kidding. Haha.
Hey, I'm so.
You know what? I'm not even going to finish that sentence because it'll jinx myself.
Yeah,
because
I've
somebody at the beginning of the season opened up her mouth and tried to throw shame at me in my growing abilities and said that my one plant wasn't going to make it. They bet on it.
I said 3 pounds off this
You
plant.
said I was going to kill it.
I said 3 ounces. And they said, there's no way that, listen to me.
Do I need to pull up the clip?
You can pull it up.
I haven't
exactly
heard
what I'm saying. So I said 3 ounces, and they said there's no way he's gonna get that off an autoflower. And
It's
I
not
said,
that-
wait.
and
I
then we
said, wait,
found
it's
out
an
they're not
autoflower?
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
ounces off an
So this
autoflower.
well, no, this was what they said. They said there's no way he's gonna get 3 ounces off an autoflower. And this was while we had a grower on the show, and the grower said, Al, you better change that it was in an auto pot where it like automatically waters or whatever. And he said, you better change that quickly into the bigger pot, because if they reach the bottom of the pot, it'll flower before it's ready. And I looked at it, and it literally looked like it was like this tall, like it was stretched, like it was going to fall over at any minute. So I said, oh, wait. I take it back. I say 0, just to like argue with everybody and say, like, I actually don't think.
She likes to argue
I
because she's
thought-
a girl.
I always pick the opposite thing. Even when my dad and I used to watch hockey and he was cheering for the Leafs, I would cheer for whatever team they were playing against, just because you got to have some competition.
Right? Oh yeah, I had 10-cent bets with my dad back in the 60s when the Leafs were
You know?
winning the cup.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was like, dude, I'll tell you right now, Al, I'm wrong, 100% wrong, because you've already passed the point that I assumed was going to
They're
fall
all-
over, because I've
They're
done
all
that.
3 feet
All right,
high
so-
and got
Okay, so we've
this big now.
So now I go back to my 3 ounces.
yeah. Let's get back to the. So did you get the 3 ounces off the plant, off the autoflower?
It's not done yet.
Oh,
Oh, it's still growing. Oh.
And none.
There's no ending to the story.
Originally, I had thought that I had autoflowers,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you don't.
and then by looking them up, the strains and where I got them and all that, because I got everything I got from OCS. I thought was autoflower, but they weren't. But they were FEMs, so which is even better. Right?
So
No.
you can't even take my answer of 0 because you didn't even give us the proper information.
Okay, if you want to say it that way.
See, woman. Oh wait, I got to remember, I can't do that. This is the 3 High Guys podcast.
Yeah, she's one of the guys.
Sorry,
She's one of the guys.
whatever.
We discussed that in an earlier broadcast.
All right,
So you were going to ask a question there on your strains or something there to finish off your list.
I was.
Yeah. And then we got into this plant that has the 3 ounces.
I don't remember any questions.
I thought you were going to ask a question.
Maybe
I was waiting for it.
I will
I thought
say
you were going
that-
to, because you said since you grow, Al.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Okay, so I can ask a question. What strains over your growing outside have you found that work better than not? Is there anything specific?
Out of all
you-
my strains that I've grown, there's some that work better outside than
And others, like, do you have like a staple strain that you grow
I have one
every
particular.
year?
I have one particular strain that I've been growing for 14 years.
Okay,
I'm
so that's
I'm smoking a joint of it right now. And it's called Grape Escape. I've grown it indoors. I've grown it
I'm sorry.
outdoors.
I like that.
so it grows
Yeah.
great outdoors then. where
Yeah.
you're-
I've gotten 2 pounds easily off of as an average off of these when they're outside.
And when you harvest, do you let them go a little bit more amber to have like the indica feel, like the more sedative
Yeah.
feel, or do you
Yeah,
do you mix
I
it?
go a little bit into the amber and then yank them. Yeah, and I have I've trimmed in the snow.
Yeah, I've heard you. I've seen pictures of you doing that.
Crazy.
So,
Well, yeah,
next
no,
week-
it's I've had it tested over the years. People talk
you
about
have you?
yeah. People talk about plants, as they get older and you clone off. I'm like, I got this as a clone off of the breeder.
So you have a mother of this, of the grape ape?
No.
You just start fresh from seed.
Perpetual gut. No, it started as a clone and it's just been keep it going with cloning. Keep
Oh,
it
you're
going.
just take
Yeah.
one, pass it along.
Just keep it going. That's right. Just keep it
One
going.
for you,
So
one
you
for
just
me.
clone off the clones.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
Now,
what I used to do when it would get a
yeah.
little
Let's
bit
say,
too tall. I'd chop
yeah.
off the top and I'd make babies, and then I'd flower as soon as
But,
I'd wait for roots. As soon as I seen roots on the cuttings, I was
yeah.
like, okay, then I can flower you.
For anybody who's growing outside that wants to bring them inside, if you haven't already cloned your plants, should get them done because plants are stretching and they're starting to go into
Oh yeah.
into bloom
Flowering. Yeah,
and the
you can't.
flower.
Is this true? You can't
You
clone a
can you
flowering
can
plant?
clone, you can up to a certain point,
Now,
but
something that
I don't
Marcel
push it much more than a week or two. But
yeah,
yeah, I have
something that
done it.
Marcel mentioned was you can clone a flowering plant that is just started, and then you put it back under the lights and shut
Right.
it off, kind of
Yeah.
like what I did
Yeah.
there. So with my Northern Lights, it I didn't go down for a couple of days, and then I went down,
Yeah.
and they were already flowering. So I just picked it up and stuck it in the. I'm not going to stop it. It'll stop itself outside because it's not ready outside yet.
Okay.
The other plants are not flowering yet, right?
I ended up basically I've already cloned for my 2025 harvest
Wow.
because you got to, in order to keep those strains going, you got to have them through the winter. You got to keep them alive all winter long in
I'm
order
gonna
to be able to bring them out in the spring. So the
I'm
ones
gonna
I
start
cloned in
seeding
2024, right?
Yeah.
Summer of 2024, they have to live through the winter of 2024, 2025. They're planted outside in the spring.
So
of
you'll bring
2025.
them in and then leave them for the winter, and then take them out in the spring.
Correct. Yeah. But I clone off them throughout the winter. Otherwise, I'd have a massive plant. Yeah, bring them in. If you bring them in, you got a small bloom room or something. You can throw them in there when they get to a certain age. Clone off of it. Throw that plant in your little bloom room. Get your other one growing, right? While it's growing, your other one is blooming. You harvest that. You got fresh meds for the winter, and you take that plant that was vegging and you move it into the bloom room and you clone off of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's all you got to do.
A
Perpetual
lot
garden.
of up and down the stairs with plants.
So it just depends on your numbers, size you want to do your room, so on and so forth. So
Well, I've got,
if you don't have a bloom room, otherwise, unfortunately, it took me a long time to, if you have to, sometimes, unfortunately, you do have to kill them off.
so my last question, and then we'll move on to our next segment. I found out when I moved up here that I could legally transport 4 plants that were not in flower.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So with this 4 plant rule, is it 4 plants in flower, or is it 4 plants period?
4 plants in total.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they're in flower or not.
Do you mean
No.
for transport?
No, I mean just to have.
Just 4
To
plants. in total.
growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing is 4 plants per
No,
household.
I know that, but you can't. Like
There's
I
no
can't
specific.
going and start new ones.
No, if
because
you
break them
take
off.
cuttings off those 4 plants, you now have more than
8.
4 plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. And you see, and that's the part that sucks. So what I am doing is I'm doing 4, and then 4,
Mhm.
and then 4.
Well, this is why a lot of people with their medical licenses request a little bit over, so that way they
I
know
have
that
5
if they
grams
need
on
to.
mine, but my doctor's retired, so
Mhm. Well, I mean, and you also get your 4 plants recreational
Right.
grow
That's
on
right.
top
So I
of whatever your
put 9
medical
Yeah,
grow
and
counts.
your carrying allowance as well.
Yeah, I could put 9 out.
Session.
Out, and so that's 5 plus 4, right? But you know what? I found when I got here, I had 4, and then a couple more, and it was too much for me to take care of. I mean, really. So I'm doing 4 at a time, and I will either clone some before
Mhm.
they flower, or I will just start from seed. And to be honest, I think I'm just going to start my next round from seed, because then I'll get a different selection. I'm also trying to choose my strains.
Yeah.
So
See,
I'm
can I make
smoking
one
hot just to
suggestion?
have. Yes.
This is something that I failed to do. This is learning from my mistake. I did what you're talking about doing, and I flowered out the entire strain, and I had never tried that strain before. And when I
Oh,
tried the flower, I was like,
yeah, and then you liked it. Yeah.
fuck
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
keep one plant, just one, just in case. If you have to
That's
flower it
right.
out after, it's fine. But man, I wish I would have kept one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've
Oh,
had some, but then you just get sometimes the numbers. The numbers are a situation, and
yeah.
you can only keep so many, right?
I
No, I've
honestly,
taken out full
Especially if you're doing
plants
the
because they
yeah.
didn't.
If
Yeah,
you've got room to have moms and all that, that's one thing. But when you
yeah,
don't, you got to do a
yeah,
perpetual garden or
yeah.
whatever. Then
I actually
yeah,
liked growing indoors
I
in a perpetual garden in small batches because you didn't
Mm,
have to trim as much. Like you
that's
guys
right.
in your outdoor grows at the end of the season, by the fuck, y'all are looking for friends. You're like, hey, you want to come help me trim?
oh, I was sick of it by Christmas.
Dude, I went to my one friend's house for Thanksgiving. Like you said, I went for Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and she handed me a bouquet of flowers of like just long stems. And she's like, here, I don't want to trim anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's how
Yeah.
I got to the point when at the farm, I brought everything in. I was worried about molding and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I pulled everything and I brought everything in, and I had it hanging in my bedroom, in the bathroom, in the living room, in the kitchen.
Mhm.
And
And your whole house.
I no, well, it was the trailer at the farm, so it didn't matter. But I got so sick of it. One day, I said, "Fuck this!" I packed up the fucking dog and the cat, and I went home for 3 weeks. Came back, everything was dry. Trimmed it all up. I was just so sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
sick of it. Right?
Alrighty. Shall we go on to the next segment?
Sure. What are we doing next?
Next on the list is
Sports.
sports.
Question. When
Oh,
is commercial time? I just need to reheat my tea.
now
Okay.
we can do a commercial now.
All right. I'm
You're gonna
going.
make me. You do it, Al. You do it. You do it, Al. Come on. No, I'm just kidding.
I woke up this morning with a crack in my head. 12 Bramble loggers later.
You're watching the Three High Guys with Al, MJ, and the other Al on the 420 pace.
Hey, stay tuned. We'll be back after this toke.
Go ahead.
Oh, Mary Jane hasn't made it back, but you know what time it is? It is time for
Shorts.
That's right. It's time for sports. This is the first time I've been doing news broadcasts since like 2008, but I have never done a sports news broadcast. So I thought, hey, why don't we add it here to the Three High Guys? Everybody, we have women's sports, we have male sports, and
Olympic sport.
we got Olympic sports, and we've got cannabis sports. So I thought what I would start out with was to go around and find out where the professional leagues were when it comes to cannabis. So everybody would have a bit of an idea on what's going on. So in the NBA, they say here, according to this sportscannabis.life website that I'm looking at, it says that the NBA is leading the charge by agreeing to a green, inclusive future in the latest CBA, which is the collective bargaining agreement. And they said that in 2023, 2024, they announced its decision to cease penalizing players for cannabis consumption, effectively removing it from the league's anti-drug testing program.
Woo woo.
Woo woo, yeah, exactly.
It's about time.
Yes,
See,
the WNBA and the NBA, they say that here the shooting over the competition, the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Liberty made history by becoming the first
there you go.
professional basketball team to sign a CBD sponsorship deal.
Really?
Yeah,
I love it.
CBD. That's just CBD.
yeah, just say CBD. Yeah, exactly.
Steps.
This, yeah, and well, it does significant shows growing acceptance of cannabis products.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does. Although CBD is now the one that they're going after.
Yeah. The NFL, they say here that they've also made significant strides by investing $1 million in researching, studying the effects of cannabinoids on elite football players. And it does say
A
elite.
whole million.
A whole
Woo-hoo!
million, yeah. Now, they say this is looking at it for pain management and neuroprotection. They're doing a study on it.
Interesting. Neuroprotection.
Yeah. Well, concussions.
What is? Can you
right?
explain what that is, Al? What neuroprotection is?
Neuroprotection. That would be, well, I would look at it, protection of the brain with the concussions that are happening in football. Yeah, protecting one's brain is very important. There's no doubt about that.
Many years ago, we had Boo Williams and Sasha Lakovic, which is unfortunately he is gone now. Who Boo, an NFL lineman, I think, and Sasha was an enforcer for Calgary, I believe, and they both suffered from concussion syndrome, as did Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Several athletes have, had to deal with that, and through some protection within that they can, cannabis. Would it be a requirement as a safety thing for the players? Take a little bit of cannabis, micro dosing. We were talking about that briefly earlier.
Just put some CBD in the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid.
You know what? Speaking of Kool-Aid, that wasn't so bad, Mary Jane. Anyways,
No,
yeah. Okay.
I don't drink Kool-Aid.
Yeah, we'll get to that one in a minute. Now, they say here that retired NFL athletes are leading the charge off field. Former NFL stars such as Rob Sims, Calvin Johnson Jr. Through their company have teamed up with the Tigers in a groundbreaking CBD sponsorship.
Awesome.
Talking about the benefits of CBD. The UFC. In combat sports, the UFC's decision to remove cannabis from its banned substances list marks a significant policy shift. They say here that it acknowledges cannabis as a potential as a therapeutic aid rather than a performance-enhancing drug, which is very true.
A performance-enhancing drug.
You guys look at it as if it can help you relieve your pain, it can improve your performance.
Well, it's becoming more and more widely known the effects and relief that you can get by using cannabis, and we've gotten to the point. Speaking of sports, the biggest sporting event in the world right now has Snoop Dogg roaming around. He's the biggest cannabis.
He's not smoking any weed, though.
No, but he's the biggest cannabis figure in the world, pretty much, besides Tommy Chung and Cheech. And he's there.
Yeah. No, I did look up.
He can't be medical.
I looked up any cannabis sports related things, news for the Olympics. I didn't find anything, but if I do down the road, we'll talk about that at another broadcast. They say here that the NCAA has cleared the lane for removing cannabis from the banned substance list.
At the Olympics?
NCAA.
That's the
Unfortunately.
National Cannabis Athletics something. Is it?
Let's see, and then they say here beyond the sports, they talk about the policy shift from it being rescheduled from a Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, but that's a whole different subject. But it's good to see that the those leagues are opening up to that. The players aren't automatically being suspended and having to go, obviously without pay, and so on and so forth.
I think baseball was one of the first ones that accepted it, and then hockey, and of course football now, and cannabis is built into the basketball thing, So
it's unfortunately they don't mention anything in this article on the NHL.
I think it's one of those things where they don't talk about it much. I know that the NFL has talked about it. You see it in the news now and then. Baseball, of course, but when you see it in the news, it's like blah blah blah. Sports announces that cannabis is going to be taken off the restricted list, but you know what? It hasn't been yet. And it's talk is cheap. I think they're waiting to see what happens with.
There's a lot of retired sports people who are now involved in cannabis stores.
Ross, what's his last name?
Has his complete business, right?
Ross Ragabludi, I can't pronounce his name.
Ross Rebliati.
Thank you very much. Right. Who several years ago won snowboarding, and then they took it away because he tested positive for cannabis. But now then they gave it back with an apology, and now it's not on the restricted list anymore, I believe.
Well, I have an answer for the Olympics. It says here 2024, the World Anti-Doping Association latest prohibited list still continues to ban THC. So the Olympics only allows CBD.
Oh, well, that's a start.
Okay. It's a start. But it's that thing, it is a start, but the bus will still go down the road with the wheel missing, but it won't go down the road quite as good.
Yeah.
Right?
Are they still testing for it, is what I'm getting at.
I would imagine. If THC is still a banned
yes, because I will say that somebody in the 2021 Olympics had their medal taken from them. They were disqualified or whatever because they had cannabis in their system. THC.
Oh, I guess I better not enroll in the Olympics.
Yeah, and the Olympic runner Sherry Richards, she the last Olympics she lost her gold medal because of cannabis.
So she was out back smoking a joint before the event, kind of thing.
She got silver. She got silver this round.
I think I remember that.
So there you go. As far as sports news, we may expand that maybe down the road with a little bit of headline news, a little bit of weather. I can tell you today it's a little overcast. I can see the sun up there behind the cloud, but
it's nice and sunny here now, and it's 18 outside. It's gone up since we started.
It's very, very cloudy in here.
It's cloudy in her basement. Sorry.
In my basements too.
Other than that, it's time to go for a commercial break and a little promo there. And we'll come back with some random topics and rotating topics or whatever you want to call it.
So what is this GUPTGA one? What is that one?
Okay. What that is a trauma group. The PTGA.
Let's watch it. We'll be right back.
It's dealing with trauma and first responders. It's a group.
Okay.
That's what it's about. PTSD
All right.
and first responders. Go ahead.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We'll be back after this toke.
Hi, I'm Timmy.
And I'm Mary Jane. He's the newbie,
She's the doobie, and this is the show
where we tote cannabis
talk.
from both sides.
Is that even possible?
Hi, ladies. I'm back. I think it was you I was talking to. Yeah, I'm live now, though. Oh, see that? Now she's back. Now she's nervous. Okay, what I can do is I'll give you the mic, okay, and I'll scan around some of your stuff, and you can tell us all about what you're doing here.
Okay. So we're selling tickets on the Denim Jacket by Tommy Chong, signed, and it's $5 a ticket, and all the money is going directly to the Post-Traumatic Growth Association, which is a nonprofit organization that offers peer support for veterans and first responders. So we hope to raise lots of money so we can put it right into programming in Ontario and across Canada.
Nice. Now, the draw will be held tomorrow, right? Because the event is still on tomorrow, so it's still time for people to get down here and get on this.
We do take
Up here,
cash
Al.
or credit or debit, so you don't have to have cash on you. And we have some swag items that we are selling as well.
I thought you said hash.
No, I don't.
Yes. All right, super. Where can people find you like online?
You can type www.ptga.ca or check us up on Facebook, Post Traumatic Growth Association.
Oh, I guess that's my cue. It's my turn. Okay, let's get to the events. Like I said, it is the 80s month. So here in Belleville, we are celebrating with an all 80s comedy tribute on 0808 at 8 p.m. With, of course, the super funny comedian Timmy Boyle. Then upcoming August 16th to the 18th in Pine Lake, Alberta. Super excited for this one too. Camp Canna is happening. I think it's their third year, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different vibe than Camp Canna, Ontario. I guess Ontario and Alberta are different vibes. So super fun. They're gonna have like a lot of activities going on there that weekend. Also that weekend, because unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it out to Camp Canna. I will be going to Toronto to the Comedy Bar to watch what I believe is a lot of stoner. Like we all grew up in the stoner culture, and I don't know another comedian that exemplifies stoner culture more than Pauly Shore. So I'm gonna go see the Weasel on August 17th in Toronto. And then in Ottawa, Ontario on August 20th, if you're out in that area, Tether Buds is having a sampling event. They're celebrating their 3-year anniversary. So if you're a bud tender, if you're a bud tender and you're in the Ottawa area, get yourself a ticket and make sure you go. Tether Buds is awesome. You're going to love them. So that's it. That's August. If anybody has any events that I haven't said, please let me know because I have to do this again next week.
Yeah, please let us know, one of us anyways, and if you let us know, you get multiple shows that you might get mentioned on. So we need to do a little thingy for Recipe Corner, so I'll just go Recipe Corner without.
All righty, recipes. Okay, it's summer out, right? Mm-hmm. So why not? I thought, why not get something that you could drink in the summertime that you could enjoy. And I've found here for anybody who wants to follow it afterwards, look for it afterwards. If you go to Pace hyphen Pace-online.ca. It's been a long time.
Let's try that again.
Okay, Pace-online.ca or through paceradio.net. You can find the magazine Grassroots Advocate. Each of the issues is listed there, and within each issue is a recipe. So I'm on issue 1 right now, and the recipes that I've got listed here is from eatyourcannabis.com, and it is a canna creamsicle smoothie.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ooh.
exactly.
Ooh. Hey, can you eat that, Al?
Huh?
Can you eat that?
Yeah, I can drink this.
Drink
Yeah.
it.
right.
eat
What's in it?
Freeze
What's
it.
in
Put
What's
it
in it?
into a fucking
This
ice cream machine maker.
This makes 4 smoothies. Obviously, you need a blender. You need orange juice, or if you want any other juice, right? A cup of canna milk or cannabis almond milk. So that's something that you would have to prepare ahead of time.
Just a
this-
suggestion: don't buy silk.
They fixed that.
Have they?
Until
Yeah,
the
by
next
now
time.
for sure.
Oh, I know that they reported more people got sick.
They do. If you worry about that, don't buy any food.
Yeah.
Don't
I haven't seen any on the shelf yet. So, but yeah, can of milk or cannabis almond milk, a cup of water, 8 ice cubes, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a 1/4 cup of fresh fruit of your choice is optional.
Okay.
Now, they say set the ice aside, combine all the remaining ingredients into the blender, begin blending, and gradually add ice 1 cube at a time, and blend until smooth. Pour and serve. There you go.
That would be yummy in an ice cream machine maker.
Sure would be, eh?
I made a medicated
up.
creamsicle ice cream. Same kind of thing.
I should have brought that up. There we go, right there.
There you
So-
go.
I feel like
Yeah.
next week the recipe should be how to make canna coconut oil or coconut milk.
I did that in the magazine. I do as they go on. I actually
Yeah?
have the recipe how to make canna coconut oil,
Okay.
along with the recipe that requires it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you said canna coconut oil, but what about coconut milk or almond milk?
no, it's
Do you just-
almond milk. It's
do you-
canna milk or cannabis almond milk.
So how do you
It's
add cannabis
easy.
coconut oil
Easy.
into it?
You just put it in and mix it really good. That's all. The milk binds to the oil
I
really
would
good.
assume you would heat the milk or the almond milk the same that you would heat butter or coconut oil.
Throw it
and
all
you
into the magical butter.
Cannabis in there. Infuse your milk.
Yep.
And then you would strain if you wanted to. Most people do. Not everybody does. Strain out your plant material, and then there you go. You got your can of milk.
Yeah, you lost me at heating up milk.
you
I was like,
you
ew.
never had warm milk when you were a kid.
No.
You just have to
gross.
watch the heat, Mary Jane, because
What do you put in your coffee, tea, or hot chocolate? Do you add any milk?
I put cold milk.
Cold milk. Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
heats up, doesn't it, when it's in there?
Yeah, but it's not just. I don't know.
I know what you're
It's
saying, but
that's
yeah.
a mental thing. That's a mental
Yeah.
thing. It's cream
You-
cheese. You put it on a
Well-
bagel, it heats up. But like,
Yeah, but you don't need to boil it.
Hmm.
Just get it warm.
Like
see,
I said,
I was wondering
uh,
if you could just make put a tincture, an oil tincture
yes,
into
you
it.
can.
You
Yes.
could probably, yeah, you probably could. Sure, why not?
Or
Yeah.
you could just use
Put
your
some-
magical butter machine and it'll warm it up for you while it's mixing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With warming milk, anything dairy, you have to watch because at a certain point it will curdle.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Wonder
assuming
if
it was
you-
scald
Yeah.
too, right?
Or what they call in the baking world scorch.
Scorch.
I thought it was scald. You
Scorch.
scald the milk.
scolding. You've been a bad glass of milk.
Not scalding. Jeez.
Now, because you were sitting on your patio out back enjoying your smoothie, I also added into there some cannabis pastry bites.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. You can see there you need a baking sheet, parchment paper, 2 sheets of puff pastry dough, a half a cup of fruit fillings of your choice, a half a cup of canna honey, and a
Cranberries would be good in that.
quarter cup of canna butter.
Cranberries.
Cranberries, sure. Yeah.
Well, I
And-
can't get any fucking raspberries because the fucking bears ate them.
Yeah, there's some instructions there on how to
Awesome.
do all that.
I like puff pastries, but I'm not a baker.
Yeah.
I don't. I bake cookies, and I make meatloaf and roasts. That's what I make.
No, puff pastries are the best. You could go meat filling, cheese filling,
Yeah.
egg filling. You could go fruit. You could nut. You could.
Yeah,
the
they-
options are endless.
Have you ever tried? Did you ever try the medicated baklava that they had at Buddy brings to the? He was bringing them to the events in Hamilton, and it's baklava made like you would get at the Hungarian restaurant, but medicated.
Infused.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, I can't eat a lot of people's infusions because everybody's dose is a lot higher than mine, and I'll get fucked up off one bite.
How are you doing with the diamonds? Do you like them?
They're great. I'll have them probably till the end of the year.
I'm using it in the. Do you like diamonds, Al?
Oh, I don't mind them. Yeah.
Are we done with the food stuff?
We are done with the food stuff. That's right.
You don't want to deviate.
Then I'm good to keep chatting because we're in our chit chat segment.
We're in the chit chat segment.
Because we
That's
already
right.
did the interview already. That's what that was for. And I got to relabel these things. We're going to run different interviews as well every show, little short things from stuff that the three of us go to.
Some different events
right.
or things that we participated in, like, like the Globe Marijuana March, all that stuff.
Or the 80s show.
Yeah.
I think one day we'll even run maybe next week we can run the chat that you had with Tommy at Grow Up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can run that next week.
That's all available there.
Do we
can run
do we have the original one?
I was just going to say we can run that as well when you're
run that
when you're on your knees, begging for sex with Tommy Chung.
I was not begging for sex from Tommy Chong.
Okay.
Would have been Shelby.
You were.
If I was begging anybody, if I was drooling
Shelby.
over anyone, it was Shelby.
She doesn't want Tommy.
My.
She just wants Shelby.
Shelby's beautiful.
I've got
well, you got samples.
Sample.
That's right.
Grow Up.
What's
This is from the Victoria Cannabis Company.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Pamelo Skunk.
Okay.
It's a Rockstar cross with
Pomelo?
Citrique. Pardon me?
Oh, I said, is it Pomelo?
Yes.
So Citrique is amazing. It's a really cool sativa. It's really good. What is it crossed with?
Rockstar.
Oh, that's going to be a treat.
It's I got it's a 1 gram joint.
Oh, nice.
Yes, 1 gram joint. It was a sample, and it says here it's 29% THC, total terpenes at 2.4%.
Nice.
That's what it says.
That's probably really tasty.
This was easy to open. There we go. Doobie.
Yes.
We got a mosquito.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were calling me Doobie.
Oh, I got mosquito. Jeeper.
You're a killer, Al. You just killed the fly.
It's trying to get out my ear. So yeah, we'll see what it's like. Oh, it's a nice container.
Yeah, I really appreciate the cannabis companies that are thinking about the packaging. Like I really don't like getting my vape cartridge in one of these containers.
Oh,
Just
it's
like
crazy.
a thin doob
They're
tube.
only this big.
Yeah, but I understand you have to put a big label on it, right? General admission. No, not general admission. Who is it? Tribal, which is also Nugs, which is also CBD. Oh, I can't remember their Orchid CBD. They all sell their vape in a very nice, it's the same tin that you would sell pre-rolls in, like 3 pre-rolls, or there's buttons on it, it snaps open. I use that for my joints all the time. Like, it's so handy. So I'm like, thank you for not thinking, like, thinking about this not just getting tossed somewhere in the garbage, or, you know.
Yeah, reuse it for pre-rolled dude. I've taken I'll get this cough. Holy smokes.
Good shit, eh? Like, but you're not supposed to be coughing off it.
Well, they say you don't get off unless you cough.
Cough to get off.
Now the
that's so 90s. Actually
80s. 90s to me wasn't that long ago.
oh, hang on. I'm getting a phone call. Let me just. Hello?
It's for you.
It's for you.
I'm gonna watch Hot Tub Time Machine later on today. That's one of my favorite movies. It's the 80s, but it's not the 80s because they get
movie
sucked
that
back.
we were talking about the other night that you said from your childhood that you want to see.
Oh, it's from Timmy's.
Timmy's, yeah. So
yeah,
it's available. Let's just say that already.
Yeah, it's in the theater.
It's available.
Oh, okay. Well, I will tell you that poor actor has gotten slammed from like all of the roles that he's taken. And the movie itself is getting slammed because I knew it was called Harold and the Purple Crayon, just like the book. I knew Timmy said he liked the book when he was a kid.
Follow the movie. It doesn't follow the book, though, does it?
Apparently, it's a sequel to the to the book.
Oh,
and as soon as I told Timmy that, he was like, "Wait, what? It's a sequel?" I'm like, "Yeah." Apparently, he's like an adult, and that's why he's grown up. And it's like this is the sequel. And Timmy's like, "Oh." Now he's like, I don't know if I want to go see it now.
Are you looking forward to Beetlejuice?
Yes. Yeah. We're going to go as a family.
And did you watch, either of you, Al doesn't watch much TV, but did you see the new, do you watch TV? Did you see Axel F yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We watched that.
What'd
we
you
watched
think
the first. We watched all of them just so we could catch up.
I tried to watch them, but I got stuck on 2 because it wasn't very good, and 3 sucked. But did you like Axel F?
Yes and no. I felt like it was very forced family connection, father-daughter. They could have just played it very differently without all of the sentimental lovey-dovey shit. Like,
yes, it wasn't very funny. It wasn't comedy.
Yeah, like
not like the others.
It feels like that Pandaverse.
One of the things that Eddie Murphy said in an interview is that after the movies were done, he had to literally stop himself from doing that laugh.
Okay.
But that's his natural laugh. So he had to stop himself because everybody wanted him to do the laugh. So it was hard for him to start back up again doing the movie.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the complaints that people are giving about the movie is that there was no banana in the tailpipe. and he commented about that, and he said that that's the one thing that he did not want to do. He said no banana in the tailpipe.
Really?
Because that was the big scene where he puts the banana in the tailpipe and then jumps into the back of the car,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they did the jump in the back of the car, but there was no banana. It wasn't slapsticky like it was. Did you see it, Al?
No,
No.
no.
It's on Netflix still.
Yeah, no. We do watch some movies, but sometimes the crappiest movie I'll stay awake, and a real good movie I'll fall asleep.
Exactly. I remember the first time I fell asleep in a theater during the movie was one of Chuck Norris's movies. I think it was like Delta Force 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I literally fell asleep in the theater. Okay, so go ahead.
I was just say, have you ever had a bad movie experience?
Yeah. Alexander.
The first Freddy Krueger movie. It scared the shit out of me. Yeah.
I had one. I wasn't quite. I was probably 17, 18, somewhere around there. Was that age?
Was it the movie or
I
something
was
that happened
in my
at the
buddy's
movie?
van, anyways. But we did some drinking. We went to the theater in Toronto, and we watched the Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
People, the people who sat in front of me quickly had to move their feet.
Oh, people were throwing up just like the Exorcist movie.
Really?
People were throwing up in the theater and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Another one that caused stuff like that was the one with Tom Hanks there.
Is that the one when he's talking to the ball?
No, where the guy at the beginning is beating himself, and he does that through the whole movie. It was like the second or third one. Tom Hanks, and it's Robert. He plays a scientist, and he's. It'll come back to me. While I'm thinking of that, what did you think of Deadpool and Wolverine, Mary Jane?
It was interesting.
It was Deadpool and
yeah,
Wolverine.
yeah. So I know X-Men. I used to watch X-Men back in the day because the guy loved superhero stuff. But then
so does the one that you're seeing now.
yes and no. He's not crazy like which is so funny because my current boyfriend has a fucking whole trophy room with GI Joes and fucking 80s memorabilia in it, and my other one never did. But this one's not crazy that I have now. But I didn't know, like, I've seen Deadpool, seen Wolverine, know the both characters, understand that they both can't die, but was not expecting the
spoiler alert.
the opening scene, the credit scene at the very beginning with the Deadpool uses a metal skeleton, Wolverine's skeleton, because I guess Wolverine's dead and is made of metal because that's Wolverine, right? With the in his hands. So anyways, he proceeds to use him as a weapon to kill. Like there's so much much blood and that, and I'm not like, I wasn't grossed out. I wasn't throwing up because like whatever. I know it's all fake, but
this was Disney's first. This was Disney's first X-rated, R-rated movie.
So it was 14A here in Canada.
16.
So a lot of parents are actually like frustrated because they didn't think that this would be, because it's like you said, it's a Disney movie, it's kids. Like they thought that it would be okay for
let's
kids.
Put it this way. Let's put it this way, okay? The first one was a superhero movie. The second one was a movie about a depressed superhero who was trying to kill himself.
Yeah,
and
but
now
still,
we have the third installment which is two depressed superheroes trying to kill each other.
Yeah,
and then they save the world.
Deadpool, you say the first one was a superhero movie, but like it was not good for kids, the first one.
No,
nor the
none of
second.
them are.
So I don't understand why parents are freaking out now. Is it because they added Wolverine?
because Deadpool is a comic book character and kids love him, and he's right now like
So
we
in
were talking.
the comic book, was he not the same attitude?
You know what? I don't know. The only thing I know about Deadpool is the 3 movies. That's it.
Yeah, see, that's my knowledge too.
Yeah.
I heard the
Did
name.
you? I
I
did see
enjoyed
there's a QR code hidden in that movie.
For
And
free
if you
shit?
watch it, if you like scan it, it'll take you to Ryan Reynolds talking about how they literally just made that movie as like a big fuck you to Disney.
Well, if you watch, if and when you see the movie, if you see it, you'll see there's a lot of slaps to a lot of different people,
Yeah.
including
Toronto.
the fact that Ryan Reynolds is from Toronto. I don't want
Yeah.
to give anything
Yeah.
away, but there are a lot of cameos.
Yeah. Well, they're both
Um,
Canadian, right?
I read one. I read one thing. They said that they went after all the different superheroes from over the years. They tried to get Ghost Rider, but he didn't want to do it. He did not want to be a part of it. So
Yeah, I just want to
Nicolas
say that
Cage, I'm talking about.
Marvel is genius because this whole multiverse shit allows so many different storylines with one character.
I
And
watched all of the
in
different Justice Leagues in a row.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Justice League, but it was, and then I watched Flash. I loved the Flash. I thought that was fucking fantastic. They even brought in Christopher Reeves as a Superman.
Yeah.
Right.
Mine was Ant-Man. I was like, how in the fuck is Paul Rudd
Can't get
cute?
into it. I've tried to watch it several times. I can't get into that.
I love it.
I
And
like
Ant-Man's
The
even I don't know if you've seen Ant-Man's cameo.
That's The Rock, and I haven't seen the cameos.
No, not The Rock. That's Paul Rudd. Ant-Man.
Isn't Ant-Man? So what does the one that The Rock just did?
Oh fuck! I don't know.
Oh yes, I remember Ant-Man.
I can't help you out in any of this, guys.
I know you're not into any of that. I know that.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I was Batman and Robin. Pow.
Yeah.
Shaboom.
I saw the original Batman and Robin movie with my dad at the Mount Pleasant Theater, Toronto.
I just watched them on TV, the cartoon.
I went to watch the best Batman movie with my dad.
I went to see the movie.
Flintstones at noon.
The Flintstones every day at noon.
Commander Tom in the morning.
Did you hear that? Did you hear the theory about the Flintstones and the Jetsons?
They were neighbors.
So we've always thought that the Flintstones lived in the past, in like the Stone Ages, and that the Jetsons lived in the future.
Right.
But there's a theory that they actually lived at the same time, and that the Flintstones didn't live or don't live in the past. They actually live in the future as well. They live in a desolate Earth. That's how they know about bowling, and that's how they know about all this stuff, because this is and the Jetsons are the ones that
doing
made
a
it,
little
and they're
bit too many shrooms while they're sitting in the bathroom thinking about shit.
There are all kinds of theories out there. My favorite are the Mandela effects, the ones where it's like Richard Simmons. Apparently, he never had a sweatband. That he never wore a sweatband. Yet every single Richard Simmons costume comes with a sweatband and an afro.
Well, he did have an afro.
Yeah, but no sweatband, apparently.
I had hair like that.
You'd have to Google pictures of him and see if he's wearing a sweatband.
No,
you know what I find amusing?
That's the thing with these Mandela effects. Some woman said, even to her therapist, I vividly remember Fruit of the Loom logo having a cornucopia. And the therapist said to her, you need to let this go. It's driving you crazy. So the woman said, fuck you. And she spent years searching thrift stores, online, closets,
used to.
everywhere. She found, go scour the internet. If you search up Fruit of the Loom, they swear that people who remember the cornucopia are crazy.
What's
That
the
we're fucked
cornucopia?
up.
What's the cornucopia?
So you know the thing at Thanksgiving that sits on the table, that like horn looking thing.
Horn, yeah. It was in multicolored.
Nope, they tell us doesn't exist. There's things like Nelson Mandela died in jail. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Britney Spears did the during a concert. She used to wear that headpiece thing that they swear she never did.
Yes, she did.
Curious George doesn't have a tail. Fruit Loops is spelled
Come on now. You're destroying my
F-R-O-O-T.
fucking childhood.
I'm like, there's so many things. I'm like, to me, it just, Mr. Rogers, it's a beautiful day.
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare.
What's the next line? It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood. A
Nope.
beautiful day in the neighbor.
Nope.
Won't you my?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. This neighborhood.
Oh,
Not
please.
the.
sit down.
Go watch all the videos. All the videos say this. I'm like, no. How is my brain fucked up? And it's not just my brain, it's everybody else's too. So you want to talk about popping mushrooms? Here's the theory on the Mandela effect.
I'm gonna have to go do some mushrooms or something to come so I can join you guys during this conversation.
So no, this is perfect. So if you watch Deadpool and Wolverine, they talk about the multiverse, and you see all the different multiverses. They say the reason why we have the Mandela effect is because we are shifting through, like, the different levels of our realities are like so minute, whatever, finite. I just created a new word that we just kind of shift in between. But all of us come from here and we're like, oh yeah, Britney Spears had the mic and Curious George has a tail. Like, what are you talking about? He's a monkey.
Being told that what you see is not what you see. It's one of those move on topics.
Dude, everything is made of the same shit. The fact that this lighter is made up of the same fucking matter that I made up is just put together differently.
See this blue lighter?
Yeah. Al's colorblind.
No, it's blue. Really? Honestly, it's blue.
Yeah.
Well, this joint is still here. It hasn't. I still got it.
Did you forget about it, or did it just keep going out?
It just keeps going. Yeah.
I had some pink Kush from Pure Sunflower, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Pure Sunflower.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. I needed something different.
Yeah.
I've been smoking a lot of shatter.
I think they're pink. I think they grow a pink Kush.
It is really a Kush.
Good. Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite strains.
Apparently, that's one of the strongest strains available.
I like it because it's inexpensive. It's it's on point.
Have you ever done an autopsy on a pre-roll joint?
Yes.
Take it open? Yeah, before I smoke it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, not after. A
little late afterwards.
Well, normally you autopsy things after they're dead. That's all I'm saying. I don't kill the doobie first. But no, I don't yours
sometimes, huh?
What's that?
I don't smoke a pre-roll that I'm given.
I don't like pre-rolls. I will re-roll.
I want to see what's in there because I'm judging you.
Yeah.
How fine are you grinding it?
I wonder how much.
Usually too much.
Has to do with even the paper as well.
You know how much? So this one here is flat. See how it's flat on the top?
Correct.
I don't like these ones because if you actually pull out the paper, there's one fold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How much paper is in here on the end? And then that first hit is literally just all paper.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, thank you.
We ran into some of them during the pre-roll of the Karma Cup where they had
Like
it
a Karma
folded.
Cup kind of thing.
Yeah, we had to open them up because you couldn't do it was harder to do a dry haul on them. Yeah,
That's
there
how
you
much
go.
they
Twisted.
would
Yeah,
be
that you
here.
can just light up and let it burn like a wick.
Yeah, see, I'll bite that right off, but like the fact that that would have been lit in the first puff,
Yeah.
it doesn't help the joint light.
This one wasn't that way.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
why they do this because it helps hold the weed all in better, but like
Yeah, it does.
I've gotten a few of those that were just open, and
Mhm.
it was empty, and everything was in the container.
Oh, really?
Hold on a second.
Oh,
Dog,
yeah.
yeah.
what are you doing in
I've
here?
actually called the
Oh, yeah.
companies and
Let's-
complained
let's
and just
just-
let them know, like, hey, just so you know, this batch, this number or whatever, it came through with this
Yeah.
problem.
Okay. I'm gonna reach into my bag here,
Your stash.
and I'm gonna randomly.
See what happens.
Yeah, this is actually from the same company, the Victoria. I mean the Victoria Cannabis Company. Okay.
Oh,
you
you
see
just
it?
happen to pull out the same company?
Yeah. I just,
Is that the same strain? What the hell?
no, this is Georgia Pie
Okay.
crossed with Z Wish. It's an
Oh.
indica dominant.
So the other way. You
Yeah,
tried
this
the
is only
sativa?
a half a gram joint. 0.5. It is 36.7% on the THC end.
Well, while Al's opening that, let's talk about next week's show. We're all three. I think we're busy. I have a guest, but the following show, which is will be the 20th, I think, right? Mary Jane's going to make us breakfast.
What?
Say what now? I haven't even eaten myself. Oh, that'd be funny. You can't eat yourself. Mm.
Medicated muffins. Mary Jane's going to make us medicated muffins next week on the Three High Guys.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
No banana, please.
You'll be crying. You'll be crying. And I'll say, oh,
I can't have
muffin.
nuts. No nuts. I'm not allowed to eat peanuts or anything like that.
You're both nuts if you think I'm making muffins. Just because my last name's Baker, don't let it fool you.
Oh.
That's funny. That's
Okay.
exactly why
Now,
I
just
changed
so-
it to Baker.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say, I know where there are some videos of you making stuff in your kitchen online. So
I'm
Is
just
there?
too busy. I'm just too busy. It's my birthday tomorrow. I got no time. I got my birthday. Timmy show's coming up. It's too much.
blah 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 blah.
Blah, blah,
Okay.
blah.
I don't know. Can you see what I got in my hand?
Yeah,
It's very very crummy.
it's green.
That's
It
great.
is. There's no lumber.
Good.
But is it ground too much?
It's really fine.
Powdery.
Um.
I've had stuff that wouldn't even light.
Oh, really?
It was so powdery. Yeah, wouldn't even light. Do you relight a joint if it
Smells
goes out?
good. Smells
Do
good.
will you relight a joint if it goes out, Al?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who won't. They'll just re-roll a new one.
Depends on how big it is.
It depends on the joint itself. Right.
If
Now,
it's any less than this, it feels like I didn't get enough when I
I
relight
get
it.
real angry when they fall apart in mid smoke.
Okay, so I've
Where'd that fucking glue go? Zigzag does that a lot. Sorry, Zigzag.
so I'm putting this joint back into a blue gazette.
You can put it back in. You know what you need to do? Maybe next show, Al, is let's show people how your Happle works, because and maybe you could contact Dave, see if he wants to come on the show and talk about it,
Talk about. All right.
or maybe even make one while we're
Or
on
he
the
could-
show.
You can tell us how to use it.
That's right, because I have no idea how to use those fucking things.
Wow. That's
They're so cool. And did you
That's the
see the
printer.
upgraded? Did you see the upgraded Happle?
No,
No.
I you know what? I have known Dave for a long time. Dave, we talk with Dave a lot at the different events, and we've had him on shows. But I've never seen a Happle. I watched him come up with the design and make them and stuff like that, but I've never actually seen one. And then Al got one, and I'm like, oh,
yeah. It's nice to have with the group. I'm getting used to using it solo.
are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like my Stunden glass. I use it as my vaporizer in the living room, and I don't even put water in it anymore. So it fills up both chambers, and it keeps me going for a while. Right? I hardly ever spun the thing, so I'm like, what's the point of having water in it? I can't handle the, it streams
it
out.
forces it down you.
Right. I mean, the cat likes it. The cat comes up, jumps up beside me, and then I do it a couple of spins, and he's like, he just sticks his face in the fucking smoke. It's fucking hilarious.
They were always, run into them at those events, and
Al, what the Student glass or
yeah. And then I'd have to, Al, hey, why don't you have a talk with us and let everybody watch you?
The first time I saw one of those was on Bar Rescue. Actually, they were developed to infuse drinks and food, right? Because you can slide the hose into a dome or a glass and infuse whatever you've got in there, because the smoke, as it settles, clings to whatever food items are in there, especially if they've got grease, of course, right?
Yeah.
And with drinks, you just stick the hose in there, give it a few, it bubbles out and infuses your drink. You can put a shot right in the thing. I'll bring it on the show one day. I have it in my living room, but I quite enjoy it. It's the only bong I have. Well, that's not true. I have a regular bong. I don't do bongs, right? I have my Shatterizer. I'm on my 20th battery.
Whenever I get an office set up, maybe someday I'll show you. I get my vapor bong out.
I've seen your vapor bong, the big one. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's you're the raw one that you want.
They're treating yourself custom raw vapor bong, and just basically you heat at the top. Think of a bong reversed. Instead of inhaling off the top of your bong, you inhale off the side stem. And your cannabis, you put your cannabis in a chamber that then you put a heat source in. So that heat source heats up the cannabis as it goes by, and it vaporizes it.
Well,
brings it down a tube through some water, and
some very ingenious kids came up with the idea of using a pop bottle and a jar and making the first gravity bong. You stick a bowl on the top of it, and you just let it go down, and it just fills up with smoke. Right? The kids.
I'm gonna say I don't mind this in
your own paper.
In my own paper, yeah, I can taste it and stuff. Yeah,
I don't like pre-rolls because I don't like raw paper at all. I don't ever give me a doobie with raw, and because you can taste it. But I don't mind the gazés, and I don't mind the non-hemp Canadian lumber.
Oh yeah,
right. But I mean, I prefer the Ziggies with the corner cut, right? Or a gazé, a green gazé.
Green gazé.
This is how I buy my papers.
Buy the box.
Buy the box.
You know what?
Buy money
I
by the box.
I've had a lot of stuff given to me, papers, and I'm just now running out since I've been here. So when
What's your options?
right now,
Like as far as store wise for you to buy papers up there.
Tyler here at My Cannabis here in Terrace Bay,
Oh.
he'll order anything that I ask for, really. But he's about to get the new Rockstar pre-rolls from Shatterizer.
Okay.
Nice.
I hooked Matt and him up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. So so that he can get units in there for people's.
Good.
I might even have a few here that for
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well. Anything else offhand, or shall we wrap things up? We went a little bit longer. We were going to do 90 minutes, but I see we're at 100.
It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys.
I think we said everything we were supposed to say.
Yeah,
I think we did.
yeah,
Supposed to say.
But what we had planned and discussed, to give people a bit of an idea what they could come and see on our weekly broadcast once we get into the weekly mode. Unfortunately, we're all sort of two of us, at least, anyways. I know are busy next week, so yeah, it's summer exactly. But we're looking at having topics such as the health stuff that Mary Jane talks about with the daily motivational tip and the health and wellness.
And we'll do more movie stuffs and stuff.
Yeah.
That you
Al, you'll have more lists to do.
Next week is going to
lists.
be the top 10 seed banks. I'm going to look up some seed banks in Canada.
Nice.
For your seed choices.
Yeah, basically more of what you've seen. More sports,
more
entertainment, more news, more fun. And if there's anything you'd like to see, anything you'd like to know, send us a comment, a question, and we'll do our best to answer.
And don't forget to check out Al's stuff at paceradio.net and my stuff at 420radio.ca, where you can also find Mary Jane's stuff.
Yeah, and then you can catch the combination of the two networks together on Saturdays on the re-rolled Saturday broadcast that starts at 8:00 in the morning. And for example, this last weekend probably would have ran till about 10 p.m. at night, straight through. Nothing but cannabis and psychedelics programming and promotional stuff that we have created right here on the network.
And the main reason that we do that is so that we can annoy YouTube and have them ban us.
Yeah. And just so you know, we get a message from Bud Chronicles 420. He says hello to all.
Hey,
hello.
Cheers.
And goodbye.
And even before we close out, we had a message also earlier. This was from Justin Jenkins.
That was before the show. Yeah.
That was before the show. He sent that to us at 9:30, so that I would assume he saw that the broadcast was upcoming and sent us a greeting. So that was good of him. So.
Yeah, and as we go on, I mean, there'll be more people that I'm sure join us on a regular for our breakfast show. This is the first time I've done a morning show in all these years. I mean, we did. I guess it's not, because I used to sit up with Tamara and do cannabis and coffee in the morning with her.
Yeah,
although I didn't say anything.
You'd be running the board in behind for sure. Yeah. But as far as this was the first run through. We didn't do any practicing or warm-ups or anything like that. So all we did was discuss it, and we got her done.
I feel like I go back to the statement of the day. You don't have to be perfect when you start, but you need to start if you want to be perfect.
And more messages from Bud Chronicles. He says, I shared you out to my community tab. Absolutely love the cast. Much love to you and your family always, and I will put notifications on. There you
go. Much love right back to you.
Thanks,
and
Bud.
I'm looking forward to the next thing that we do, because we haven't played it yet.
All right. Let's
Say
do
good
it.
night. I'll say good
Yeah.
night. Say good day.
Have
Yeah.
an enjoyable rest of your day, everybody. And it could be nighttime when you watch this, just like Al
This
says.
is true. And if it is, good night.
Yeah.